It's Saturday, November 12th. The Sharks defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1 in a nice victory in beautiful Florida. We welcome you to this edition of Pucknology After Dark. And we like to remind everybody that we are sponsored by Audible by Amazon. We have partnered with them to get a free 30-day trial. You can choose from over 180,000 audiobooks and get a free audiobook to keep whether you choose to continue to use the service or not. Go to audibletrial.com/PAD to sign up. You get a free book. You help support the show. Hey, everybody wins. That's audibletrial.com/PAD. Hi, everyone. I am Puck Guy, otherwise known as Eric. You can follow us along throughout the night. And if you want, you can also join the Chopperization right here using the hashtag PucknologyAD on Twitter. You can also hit us up in the YouTube chat on the page you're watching us below or on the app. And joining us tonight is yours truly. Hi. Along with the angry Canadian, Ian Reed. What are you looking at, Ian?
Nothing. I'm good.
God, okay. The guy who spells his name the right way, Eric Landy.
Hey, you know what they say, guys? Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, but apparently it does.
And joining us from his beautiful teal walled office, I'm so jealous of her, AJ Strong.
What up, what up, what up? Hey now.
Hey now. Don't forget to make sure you listen to the most recent episode of The Pucknologist. You can find them virtually everywhere. There you go. All right, let's get this ball rolling as the Sharks beat the Bolts 3-1 in their LA King ripoff jerseys. Overall, I thought this was a pretty solid game. Wouldn't you say, Ian?
Black jerseys matter.
Wow. That's a great way to start it off, dude. I like it.
No, look at I thought it was a good game. Probably, I know we'll get more later, but in my opinion, this might have been the best effort we've seen from the Sharks all year.
Most balanced, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say probably the most solidly balanced, I think, where everybody was on the same page. Wouldn't you say, Landy?
Yeah. I mean, you know the apocalypse is coming when, we're 15 games in and Marc-Edouard Vlasic's already got 3 goals.
That's 2 more than Mikkel Bodker has. AJ, what did you take from tonight?
The forward.
I hold on. What the hell is Landy talking about?
Vlasic to forward.
Oh, yeah, Vlasic to forward. No, what I took from tonight is this. I mean, this is game 15, yes, on the schedule. Okay, game 15. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's only game 15. This will go down as the most bizarrely officiated game this season. That's what I took from tonight, especially in the first period.
Care to elaborate on that a little bit? You don't mind me asking.
Well, no, it's just
without you going too crazy, I should say.
Yeah, no, it just seemed weird that we had the Marlowe goal that was said it was called not a goal. Then the coach's challenge made it a goal. We saw Donskoy with a penalty shot. We saw at least twice tonight where while Puck Guy takes a big scoop of food, we saw twice.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We saw a couple times tonight where the referee's hand went up, and we assumed it was on the Sharks, but it was on Tampa. And then later the arm goes up, and we go, oh, that's on Tampa, and it was on the Sharks. I mean, it was really one of the most bizarrely officiated games, but that it actually went in favor of the Sharks tonight, which seems to be such a rarity. We're so used to saying, oh, that's a goal, but they'll wave it off because Sharks. But tonight, it went the other way, so, we can stop that narrative. But just a bizarrely officiated game, but hey, I'll take the W.
Hey, and just a quick note on the balanced attack. I mean, just going over the time on ice real quick. I mean, no forward skated less than 10 minutes, except for Milker Karlsson, who went off with the injury, of course. But, I mean, that's telling you that Peter DeBoer was rolling those lines, and really, I mean, he has faith in all 4 lines right now. That bottom 4th line, it's just clicking on all cylinders. I'm really happy for those guys. They've got some good chemistry going on. So this team is looking like it's starting to roll.
But in granted, also Clement LeBlanc took a. I think
I'm sorry, who?
The bank.
Well, I'm sorry, I get a little too fancy when it's sorry, I didn't deposit that joke. Moving on. No, he got hurt during the game, and he was out for a little bit. So you had 2 guys out, so you definitely had more time for 9 forwards. But yeah, a balanced attack. Including on the defense. Defense played pretty well, I thought, tonight, including Marc-Edouard Vlasic ending the power play schneid with his seeing eye shot. Ian?
Vlasic to forward.
Well, he's got more goals than Mikkel Bodker, so...
Look at, I mean, you've seen that game over time where he went in with the super, like, the breakaway against the Ducks, and now this. I mean, clearly it's time to have the Vlasic to forward experience.
Paging Andrew Bench. Uh-oh, we got to roll that counter back.
Right. So I mean, but seriously, they played really well. Even that that partial breakaway. Why can't I remember his name? But Brendan Dillon, helped out break that up pretty. I know, AJ. I know. That's your anti boy. That's Rockets' future husband. But I mean, seriously, they all played really well tonight on the defensive side. I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, just quickly rolling through the stats again. I mean, nobody was a minus on the ice tonight, which is pretty rare for the defense. You look at the time on ice numbers. Schlemko clocks in with the lowest time on ice with 14 minutes. I mean, this is a far cry from the time of Wallin and somebody else, going like 5 minutes. So it's really good. I mean, and it's good to see that Bernsey, I mean, he clocked in under 22 minutes. I mean, Braun led the defense corps with 23 minutes and some change as the defenseman with the most time on ice. So it's really balanced right now, and this bodes well for getting the guys some rest, and you're starting to see them kind of finally get out of that funk that I think the World Cup brought on.
What about how'd they do in the circle tonight?
They were 51%. Yeah, they were 51% tonight. Going through the forwards, Pavelski was 50%. Jumbo was 36%. He was the only, Jumbo was 38%. Couture was 60%. Hurdle was 75%. And Tierney was 38%. So Tierney and Jumbo were having issues tonight, but Hurdle was making up for it, and so was Couture. Both coming in over 50%.
Well, it's nice to see that from Couture since he's actually been putrid in the circle for a while. So nice to see him bouncing back from that. I'll take that in a big way.
A huge portion of those face-off wins for the Lightning, though, are Steven Stamkos with 70%.
Yeah, Stamkos is pretty damn good when it comes to the circle. So, and then
I was going to say Steven Stamkos is pretty damn good when it comes to hockey.
Yeah, he hockeys well. Jones comes in with a .962 save percentage tonight, stopping 25 of 26 shots, and the power play clicks 1 for 1, and the penalty kill is perfect, 2-0.
Yeah, and also
PK's been lit on this road trip.
Yeah,
I think it's gone now 10 in a row, games I should say, for the penalty kill. So that's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
considering they had a little hiccup early on.
Still want to see that power play come back though.
Yeah, no, I think we're starting to see it, and I really like that the second unit is really pushing that first unit for more ice time now, and hopefully it'll kind of light some fires underneath the guys in the first unit, because that second unit is pretty potent. I mean, we've got Hurdle, playing really well with Donnie, and you've got Vlasic now shooting on the net more. He's actually shooting on the net. It becomes pretty potent, and you've got a viable second power play unit now that doesn't play, fiddle to the first unit. So just kind of going through the PK stats, San Jose is 5th in the league at 88.6%, and the power play is still 17th, clicking at a 17.8% clip. That hasn't been up. It's been updated with tonight's game too. So, yeah, we're 17th and 5th respectively for power play and PK.
Hey,
And
tonight.
Go ahead, Adrian. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say tonight on Donskoy's penalty shot, which we haven't seen the Sharks shoot a penalty shot in a while. Is it me, or did he just hang on to that way too long? Like it just taken him too long to make a decision of what he wanted to do?
I think he was trying to get Bishop to open up his 5-hole a little bit more. And
there was space, but I think that he put the paddle down a little quick, and it kind of handcuffed Donskoy just a little bit. But yeah, I agree, AJ. He if he would have maybe taken a half second less, he could have tucked in 5-hole.
Yeah, it just felt like he was like, oh, there's a spot on the left. Oh no, there's a spot on the right, and shit, I've run out of space.
Yeah, it looked like he did a little too much there, but I thought for sure he could get it.
Because if there was one guy on the team that I was like wanting to see shoot a penalty shot, it was Donkey.
And he's been smooth with his moves on the penalty shot too.
Is somebody doing this show from a restaurant or something? What the hell's in the background?
We're cleaning dishes. Forgive me.
Okay.
But speaking of shooting, well, you know what?
So hey, if anybody's wondering where that Audible.com money is going, clearly we haven't gotten Puck Guy a new mic yet. So
I went through two mics and both pooped the bed, which is why I'm using the best.
Dude, it's PAD. You can say shit.
yeah, it's not Pucknologist.
Yeah, dude.
I know. Well, fuck my mic. All right. But speaking of getting back to where we were talking about, on the shooting point, Bernsey, no shots on goal tonight at all. And for that matter, Stamkos only got 1 shot on goal. So the two big guys that you expect shots from contributed 1 shot on goal tonight.
Which can only mean that Ian Reed thinks that both of these players should be traded tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are we doing here? Brent Burns, you want a new deal, you're not going to get any shots on goal, trade him. It's over. Trade him. Hell with this. I'm so tired of this, man. Guys want bajillions of dollars and they can't even take a shot.
Hey, he gets a point, though, so, he's starting to pad that point cushion, so. Hey, you know what? I mean, with Burns, I'm not really worried. I mean, this happens. I mean, it's when guys key in on the star players, that's when you start to see others step up. I mean, that's why I think Hurdle has been really taking the mantle with his centerman's position. I think you're also seeing Tierney starting to step up, that fourth line really getting a lot of opportunity. And Patty is starting to develop some chemistry with Hurdle. And so now, I mean, you're able to roll that balanced attack, and it's not just the Jumbo Pav show anymore.
Oh, dude, I wasn't the only one that was confused, right? When it was it was Hurdle, Marlowe, and Tierney out there at one point in the mall. Who the hell is centering this fucking line?
It's simple. When somebody cheats, then you get somebody else to do it, and so on and so forth.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. It's because Melker was out, so they had to balance out the minutes between the forwards.
Yeah. I mean,
I understood. It was just very funny in the moment. That's all.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Well, I mean that is hashtag Shark System. Where we develop all forwards as centers. We have all the centers.
All the centers.
All your centers belong to us.
Exactly. But no defensemen.
Right. But
so what do they do now that Melker's out?
You know what? I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. He was able to get the assist after he blocked the shot. I think the guys on the telecast had it right. It was probably just a swelling thing, and they'll see where he's at next game. But I don't think it's going to be that bad, because if he broke it, he wouldn't be out there. He wouldn't be able to be passing the puck.
Didn't the one dude do something with a broken leg? I can't remember which player it was.
Oh,
Campbell?
fuck that Couture guy.
Are you talking about Campbell with the penalty kill?
Yeah, I don't know.
The Boston penalty kill?
Yeah, maybe it was Campbell with the Boston penalty. Yeah, he killed the penalty with a broken leg.
Ian's just making shit up at this point.
But it was totally ineffective.
Totally, he did it. It's all that matters. He toughed it out. Hockey, tough guys.
And as
that's what we're talking about.
As we're talking about the Sharks farm system right now, the Barracuda are down 4-5 with 14 minutes left in the third period.
They're taking on the Texas Stars.
Yeah, Texas Stars. Chartier's got a goal. Tim Heed's got a goal. Barclay Goodrow's got a goal, and Marcus Sorensen's got a goal. So it's good to see the Baby Sharkies. They can score a lot, but they just can't keep it out of the net.
Baby Sharkies. Barclay Goodrow's actually coming off of a hat trick last game, so he's got 4 goals in 2 games.
Yeah. But the supermodel is not doing so hot.
He's
not
a very
so great.
strange goalie. I said this on the writers' room last week. Like, he's a very unorthodox in the way it's like the weird. He moves around really weird. The way he gets around the net, it's like Dominic Hasek-esque without being Dominic Hasek. So it's like you look funny except he doesn't make the saves. Instead of like where Dominic Hasek would still make the save even though he looked funny, Armalis doesn't. He's a weird. The way he gets around the net, it's very, very strange to me, and I don't know. He's kind of strange as far as the way he plays the position. But yeah,
Sir?
he hasn't had a
Sir,
Sir,
you are too good looking to be a goalie. Stop it.
Stop it.
That's what they have to tell him.
Yeah,
that's why he is a goalie, so he can keep his mask and keep his chiclets.
Right?
That's true.
Those high cheekbones, damn it.
Somebody's got to be able to stop the puck with their looks, right? I mean, because Zoolander can stop a ninja star with his look. Somebody was asking about Timo. Timo's got 2 shots tonight and 4 PIMs. Not so great. He's a +1, but right now he's got 6 games played. He's got 2 assists, and he's a -2. So I think he's still adjusting to the big man's game, unfortunately.
He's look, mono sucks to recover from, and you miss training camp, so now you're trying to get back into speed with everyone who's already at speed. He's improved every time I've watched him. He's improved. Now I didn't catch the game yesterday. I only got the clip notes, and I was watching the Sharks tonight, so I don't know about tonight. But the thing about Timo, from what I've seen so far, is that he is getting better every game. It's just, but you want to see a little bit more sooner. But I don't know. I'm not too concerned yet.
Well, and people that are asking, who are we circling on our list for call-ups next? I'd take a look at this guy named Dan O'Regan. I've kind of tracked him through college. Right now, he's got 8 games played, 8 points, 4 goals, 4 assists. He's sitting on 3 assists tonight. This kid's going to be good, and he's just getting better. And then Goldie has really stepped it up and liked his game.
That would be my pick. I would pick Golovin for sure to come up, because I think that. Go ahead.
Well, that means that maybe Nieto sits out, which prompts this thing. I'm a Long Beach native. What do I need to do to get back in the lineup?
Get traded.
Yeah. I think it is the writing's on the wall for Nieto. I think there's just too many prospects that have too much more potential than he does, and he's a known quantity at this point.
Now, that being said, though, I still think Nieto would draw back in the lineup before they dip back into the Barracuda again, unless they want to send LeBanc back down and call up someone different. I think if this Carlson thing's serious, I think then you're probably going to see Nieto draw back into the lineup, or maybe Michael Haley will draw back into the lineup. You never know.
Well, no, you got to have Nieto draw back in just so we can showcase him before we trade his ass.
I mean, if the Sharks really wanted to trade Nieto, they could. I mean, his deal is stupid good. Like, he has a 2-way $700,000 contract. You could trade that no problem. And because of the value of that contract, you would probably get an okay return for him.
It's a good deal, but weren't we just talking like a couple weeks ago that it was like, okay, Nieto, Wingles, one of these guys is probably going to get moved if you're going to try to seriously make room to bring up the younger guys. And it was kind of like, well, maybe Wingles is going to offer a little. Well, I was going to say maybe Wingles offers a little more value, and then of course look what Wingles has done on this road trip so far. I mean, 2 goals, and he seems to be. It's not just me, right? Like over these these 3 games on the road trip, the fourth line has been getting it done every single game. They're the ones that just seem to be opening things up for this team.
Well, so, okay, but I mean, here's the thing, and I think that this is the way that kind of Doug Wilson kind of always goes about his dealings is if the team is working well, he's not gonna break it up. So I don't see any trades imminent. I don't think that there's a need for anybody to be moved at this point. Because I mean,
so you don't see Marlowe going to like Columbus or something?
No, I don't see that happening. And if anything, I mean, you keep Nieto around for draft protection. I mean, you just keep him unprotected, kind of dangle him out there for Vegas.
Fine.
Yeah,
fine for draft. But honestly, they're not going to lose anything. They're going to lose the defenseman for. I don't think they have to worry about their forwards because I think there's really. Even if you trade Nieto, like you're still not losing anybody important. You have enough slots that you could probably protect everybody.
Somebody's asking if this is the best fourth line in the NHL. I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know. I haven't watched enough other games.
Yeah, but I would say it's pretty competitive. And really, like I was saying, I mean, you're starting to see Tierney kind of come into his own. He's able to center a line and really able to get some good production. I mean, that pass tonight was damn impressive. I mean, he's got a defender pinned on him in the back, and he's able to just launch it right in the slot, and Wingles is there. So, I mean, you're really starting to see him and Carlson gel, him and Carlson and Wingles, and hey, if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Well, and isn't this what we kind of heard from the front office and even from Vlasic in the offseason saying that this defense to him was one of the best in the NHL, and that going into this season, the Sharks are supposed to be one of the most balanced teams because of the addition of Bodker and because of the pipeline, whether it was LeBanc or Timo or whoever. So I like where the Sharks are at. Like I said, though, I'm still going to to bitch and piss and moan about the power play, getting owned in the face-off circle. Those are 2 things I think they need to correct. But once the Sharks get that going, I think they're good. But hey, the defense is a little bit better than I thought they were going to be, especially at that bottom pairing. And give it up for this penalty kill, guys. I mean, holy shit.
Well, I mean, and you see new personnel on there. I mean, you see Bodker with Couture. You've got Hurdle. I mean, Hurdle and Carlson, and you've got Tierney on there. So you've got a good set of 5 forwards. I mean, and Patty sometimes kills penalties, and Pavelski. So what you're seeing is that every one of these forwards has enough defensive acumen to be on the PK, and DeBoer trusts any of them. So I mean, really, I think that the system that they're playing now, where they're playing a little bit more aggressive box style, I think works with this personnel better than the Todd McClellan passive box ever did. And I think you're really starting to see the personnel gel with the system.
I completely agree. I think PK's been good. The defense has been good. You have all the forwards being solid along the way. I mean, you can't mess this up so far because you've won 3 in a row. I think it was like we can possibly see where this Pittsburgh loss was the Winnipeg of this year when they got pooped out of the bed. Now, I mean, granted, it's early.
Well, let's not start blowing each other yet. They're on a 3-game win streak following a 3-game loss streak. Yeah, I know. But three consecutive losses followed by 3 consecutive wins. Let's see how they finish this trip. They could very easily come home 500. Let's see where they're at after the end of this roadie. Let's see them continue this because I think this is almost a little bit of a market correction, if you will. I don't think they should have gone 0-3 those last 3 games before going out on this big roadie. So let's see what happens over the next 3, and let's see the arc, or not the arc, but the trend continue to go up.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything gives me pause right now, it's the offense. I mean, they're still having offensive issues.
And the top line.
Yeah, the top line is kind of bone dry, and I think it's Jumbo. I think Jumbo is a little bit tired from that World Cup, and I think you're starting to see them come out of it a little bit, but still, I'd like to see a little bit more out of them. So that really the goals for is what bothers me. But if you were to have a problem, I mean, and the problem being is goal scoring, but you're keeping the pucks out of the net. I'd rather have that problem and it be the other way around, where you're scoring a lot, but you're not able to keep the puck out of the net. So you keep your defensive structure, you keep it going well. You'll create a lot of offense from your defense. There are worse things, but that could definitely morph into a bigger problem, especially if you're going to go against a high-scoring team. And they were able to hold their own against Tampa tonight, and Tampa's got a really good offense.
Well, and Chris JWS pointing at the top line, Speedio has been shit. So
yep,
definitely something that needs to be looked at. I got a question for you guys. There's 3 more games on this roadie. Do you think we see Dell start any of them? And would the most likely be
against Carolina?
I was going to say, would the most likely be Carolina?
Yeah, he's got to start against Carolina. I mean, I can't think you get. I mean, granted, the games are split up nice and evenly. You don't have any back-to-backs just yet, but you got to get Dell in there sometime soon.
Yeah,
otherwise, you're going to tire out your goalie.
Well, next week you have at the end of the week you have 3 of 4 at home, so he's definitely getting one of those.
Yeah. I think just to get him not cold, I think you got to play him one game on this road trip, and I don't want Peter DeBoer to fall into that Todd McClellan trap where you've got a number 1 goalie, but just don't ride him that hard, because we've seen. I think it's safe to say we've seen Jones get tired, for playing too much. He's rebounded a little bit right now, and he's playing well, but still, I don't think you want to run him ragged this early.
I think you need to start Jones, because I think the question marks now is how much does Peter DeBoer trust Martin Jones? And I think this Carolina game is going to answer that question for us. If he doesn't get the start because it's not a back-to-back, I think that speaks really poorly to the trust level of Peter DeBoer on Aaron Dell. And I think that when you take that in consideration and look, at the bigger picture, then now is Doug Wilson giving Peter DeBoer players he doesn't want to use, and then that's a bigger issue.
And lies the problem. Yeah, go ahead, lady.
No, I mean, look, you've got to see what's in the cupboard with Dell. I mean, I think that right now is because basically right now you're able to have that tinker time before it really comes down to crunch time, and you've got to have a good backup. So if you need to know that you need to go out into the marketplace and get another backup, I mean, now's the time.
Tinker time, not to be confused with Timo time.
Right, and the other thing too is that you need to know. Because do you really want to give up more draft picks to somebody for a rental backup? But yeah, I mean, you can find something on the waiver wire, but at the same time,
what's Alex Stalock doing?
Well, and the other thing too is, I think now we've got to realize that there's more prospects than there are slots. So I mean, right now you're in a good position with prospect pool, prospect currency, and you're able to dangle some blue chippers that you did not have before. Now, I'm not arguing, and I'm not saying to sell the farm, for a backup, because I don't want to do that. You've already strip mined it once, and it took a long time to get it back to somewhat decent right now. But you do have some commodities you can play with. I mean, is Barkley Goodrow going to ever come back up? I mean, you've got Chartier, you've got Dan O'Regan. Like I said, you've got players, you've got some capital and currency that you can go out into the marketplace with. But you've got to spend your bullets wisely, and you've got to really figure out what you've got in Dell first.
And Rocket Backhander taking a page out of Ian Reed's book saying, Vlasic not to forward but to goalie.
Clearly.
Hey, he could probably play all three, right?
So just to answer the question, what's Alex Daylock up to? Alex Daylock has played 6 games for the Iowa Wild. He's allowed 23 goals and has a goals against average of 4.46 and a .865 save percentage.
Dude, God, that sounds like that's right in Doug Wilson's wheelhouse, brother.
How the mighty have fallen, Matt. One time we thought he'd be challenging Nemo to be a starter.
It's not really that hard to challenge Nemo for that.
What's Tony Romo doing right now?
Tony Romo's the quarterback.
Slushy,
I don't think that I'd call him that, but okay.
Slushy actually brings up a kind of interesting point. I mean, Kari Ramo's still out. Kari Ramo's still out there, and he was a decent backup. I mean, he's probably got more stock than Dell does at this point.
Isn't he with Toronto? I thought he was with the Leafs.
I will double check that. Slushy, did you lie?
So no, I don't think. I mean, I don't know why he would be with the Leafs. I mean, Anderson's healthy. Was their backup Enroth? Is Enroth not healthy? They've got Bebo. They've got Sparks. I mean, that whole system is loaded. I don't know why they would bring in Kari Ramo, but maybe they did.
Is Slushy making shit up?
No, I don't think so. I think you're right.
He's just been working out there. Okay.
Yeah. Now, Schwartzstack, he's asking, well, why are we even talking about backup options before giving Dell a chance? I think for all of us, I think the problem is that he's not getting the chance. Yeah. And I don't know...
Which I used to say about Staylock.
Right. And I don't know...
Or Dimitri Patsold.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just don't know that DeBoer has any faith in Dell.
The only reason we keep talking about it is because we keep getting asked about it too. Like I get this question like every other day about the backup goalie situation. So as people keep asking, I'll keep answering because I like the sound of my own voice.
And right now, I mean that is if you're gonna pull a weak spot in the Sharks farm system besides defense,
so not forward.
Yeah, forwards are fine.
Yeah, but remember, it wasn't that long ago when the Sharks were a fucking goalie factory for a while.
Okay,
so.
but we got to remember that was
Warren Strelo passed away.
Exactly. I mean, when he passed away, I mean that was the brain trust of the goalie factory. I mean, he was able to literally take shit and make it magic. A la Vesatoskala. So, you know.
Yes.
How's Grosnick, or who I'm assuming Grosnick is the starter for the Barracuda? How's he doing? Paging Kevin Lacey.
It's not like I don't watch the games. Grosnick's been fine. Grosnick's been better than he was last year.
And that's all you can ask. Is
and we are playing Carolina the next game. We know how Grosnick did against them last year.
I love Grosnick.
Yeah, call up Grosnick. I think as much as I love Nabby, and as much as I think everybody in the Bay Area loves Nabby, I don't know that he is the best goaltending guru. He did learn under Wasp, but I don't see him as a great teacher because he was kind of like
That's why Hedberg's there.
Well, right. That's why Hedberg's there, but Hedberg can't stay. Yeah, Hedberg can't stay with the AHL guys, though. And that's the problem. They need a goaltending development coach in the AHL that's not Nabby.
Oh. Breaking news, Kevin Lacey can't join us because he's busy out getting more turtlenecks.
I hope they're J. Crew.
Wow.
No, I'm sure they're Abercrombie and Finch.
Oh, well.
I was going to say you should tell Nabby to use his phonics next time when he's trying to teach the goalie. Back to you, Landy.
Slam four. Slam four.
Oh, those ads are great. I can't wait for the next ones. Let's kind of go around the NHL right now. We have plenty of games in progress. Well, too bad, Ian.
No, do me a favor. Start with fucking Columbus. Who the hell is this fucking offense?
Oh my God, 8-4.
Yes.
All that I'm gonna say is I'm just glad we're done with them for the year at this point.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Remember going into last year, a lot of people were saying Columbus was their dark horse, and maybe they're figuring it out. I'm not sure on that.
Well, we don't see Vancouver until when is it? Like February 1st, January 31st, somewhere in there.
Right.
Sometime next year.
Yeah, but it's dear God. I mean, okay, so it's the first game of February. Do you think by the time we get to that point, Vancouver will still be in the league?
Well, they can't swap spaces with their farm team because Utica's just as bad.
Hey! There should be relegation, kind of like the Barclays Premier League. So if you're in the bottom third of the league, the bottom 3 teams in the league, you get sent to the AHL.
Can survive?
Do you want to see Vancouver literally blow up?
Of course, Laurel pointing. So if the season ended today,
It's a Saturday. This is when we usually talk about it.
All right, and just for everybody, just so everybody's on the same page, in their last 10 games, Vancouver is a whopping 1-9. So, and no overtimes, no nothing. It's literally 1 and dog shit.
And remember, after the first week and a half of the season, they were up there with Edmonton for the 1 and 2 spots.
Yeah, that was not going to happen. And I think you're going to see Edmonton regress kind of hard soon. I think you're just starting to see it now, but I think they're going to fall back to earth a little bit, and especially because we're only 1 point behind them now, and we haven't played them yet.
Those games will be pretty good if they do keep up that pace, for sure.
Rocket saying Bo Horvat is their boyfriend.
Oh, jeez.
Vertanen. But the team that's kind of in the cellar right now that's kind of bothering me is Calgary. I mean, Calgary.
Oh, you think it's bothering you? I picked them to finish top 3 this year.
Yeah.
And they're currently losing to the Rangers 2-0 late in the first period.
Yeah, the Rangers are the surprise team for me this year. I think the Rangers, I know I've said it a couple times, but the Rangers are heads and tails better than I thought they'd be this year. A lot of really quick youth, and then Alain Vigneault's a good coach too, so I'm not surprised that he's getting the most out of it, but
yeah, and I think
those Rangers are something else.
I think the other one too is Jersey. I think Jersey has exceeded my expectations quite a bit. Right now, I mean, they're 14 games in and 19 points. That's pretty good, and they're 7-1-2 in their last 10. Jersey, Jersey's done well. I think on the flip side, I mean, where's Florida? I mean, Florida,
they're injury ridden.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other
Rudo for a bit.
The other one is the Islanders. I mean, they just took a freaking nosedive, and they're not good right now. They're not.
They're playing on slush.
They're playing on slush. The other thing about the Islanders too is I think that I thought the Andrew Ladd signing would go better for them. It really hasn't been that great for them so far. And then if you look at the pieces they lost, you lost Nilsson, you lost Okposo. I mean, I was pretty high on the Islanders going into the season, but now that I kind of look at it, and Grice and Halak have been okay. Grice isn't setting the world on fire like he did last year. So I think that when you kind of look at their subtractions, I think we just got a little too high on them based on a decent playoff showing.
Yeah, and Don Julio bringing up a great point. Nashville is literally ass ramming Anaheim, so just keep it up. Keep it up, Nashville. That's all I gotta say.
So let me go through these scores really quick, since we're talking. And
I go out to get a beer and I come back to ass ramming.
Well, that's what Nashville's doing to Anaheim.
Wow.
And the Predators are beating the Ducks 5-0. That one's pretty much over unless Corey Perry actually does something.
I really missed you guys doing that family-friendly shit.
Nashville, though. I mean, Nashville, there's another team that's kind of pulling themselves out of the gutter too, though. 4-3-3 in their last thing. This will be their third win in a row. So I mean, they're rising.
Yeah, no, I think
Really
you're
something
seeing
that should be.
yeah the market correction for Nashville I think is coming now.
Yeah, they're better. They were better. They're so much better than what they look like.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that Blue Jackets Blues score.
Yeah, yep, I'm getting to that. 8-4 Blue Jackets over the Blues. Wow. Suddenly, Columbus knows how to score and shoot off their cannon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no
They
kidding.
scored like 21 goals in their last 3 games.
I think there's pixie dust in that cannon.
And then you know who else knows how to score? The Barracuda. They've come back and they're now beating the Texas Stars 6-5.
Timo Meyer with the game-winning goal.
Oh my God!
The Barracuda, fuck those guys.
That's our kids.
I know.
They're not my kids. I deny all of it. I'll go on Maury. I don't care.
Hurricanes pull out a good win against the Capitals, 5-1. Just kind of again, I mean, it's kind of topsy turvy right now, man. It's like any given Sunday, any of these teams can, punk these other teams, and Hurricanes punked Capitals. Penguins beat the Maple Leafs. I mean, what did you expect? Flyers.
I expected Austin Matthews to give a damn.
Flyers pull out a win. They're 7-7-2 now, but they pull out a win against the Wild 3-2. Devils, like we were mentioning again, won tonight against the Sabres 4-2. Panthers pull out one 3-2 against the Islanders. Canadians they're legit, and they won and beat Jimmy Howard literally 5-0. Again, we're going over that Flames Rangers game. Rangers up 2-0 in the first period. The ass ramming that is the Predators beating the Ducks 5-0, and the Yotes are hanging on, but it's 2-1 Bruins.
No, Landy, no.
Desert
Don't let
Dogs.
Brody down. Come on, Desert Dogs.
Yeah, but I don't have a drink in hand.
Oh, and speaking of which, where did AJ go?
He left. He doesn't care.
Whatever.
Who was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about something before. Oh, Detroit. I mean, Detroit's an interesting team. I mean, they're clinging for dear life. I think they're like 8-7-1 at this point.
They've been clinging for dear life for 2 years. I mean, this team has been on life support.
I think
they're on life support.
It's just amazing how you would just think they would either tank or go.
Dude, after 25 years, I think they deserve to go in the shitter for just a little bit.
They are kind of suffering from what the Sharks suffered. What was it, 2 years ago, where they were kind of in the limbo of, well, do we still try and eke it out, or do we kind of tank, or do we kind of stay in the middle? And look, I mean, the NHL is structured in a way that if you're staying in the middle, you're not getting rewarded, and they've kind of stayed in the middle.
Right, and they haven't had that. Do we go do this? Do we go do that? It's kind of a fancier and better organized Vancouver in regards to, do we need to develop more, or do we need to go out and win something right now? And, Franz Nielsen was their biggest pickup in the offseason. And so I can't say Detroit's not a desirable city, but come on.
Well, hey,
no one has ever said Detroit is
the oven.
No one's ever said that Detroit is a desirable city. No one has ever uttered those words ever.
Hey, you forgot about the Otter, okay? That was a pretty amazing signing.
Oh my god.
Puck guy, what does the angry tree feel about that?
I don't even have an answer for that.
This is a little awkward. The AG's here, and the angry AJ tree here is like, hey, fuck that guy. Fuck you, Landy.
Does anybody know if that Barracuda game, what the score was finally? Is it? Oh, Barracuda scored an empty netter, 7-5 right now. Timo gets a goal, and Bergman comes in with the empty netter.
And Roy Summers getting those
I think
interviews from
Bergie
any
tied
sources.
it, and then I think Oregon had the empty.
Megan just said now it's 8-5.
8-5. Wow.
Hey, we never said that the Barracuda had issues scoring. They just have issues keeping it out of the net. They got to keep their legs closed.
Wow.
Hey now.
Hey, if they want to play arena football in hockey style, why not, eh? I mean,
That's the problem, right? Like like the Barracuda, they scored too many goals, but I mean, they need to go on a run. Like they just keep splitting these games with everyone that they keep playing these back to backs with different teams because it's the AHL, and they keep splitting them, and it's just like it's either they win and they score 8 goals and they need 8 of them to win, or it's like low scoring and they're done. It's been weird.
And A012345, yes, Goldie will make the Sharks next year. I don't.
7, 9, 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm putting.
I think a bet about singing a song on air needs to happen.
No, I think that honestly, I think we'll see him be called up. I think this year you'll see him be called up.
Canada.
If you ask me right now, and you haven't, but I'm gonna answer anyway. If which is the Barracuda guy to call up earlier, like the question was asked earlier, it's Goldobin, man. I would call Goldobin up and give him another shot and see what he's got because he's been really, really good on that Chartier-Labanc line.
But hold on, let me ask you this. So, is it if Goldobin is wearing a shark on his sweater next season?
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's more that he has outplayed somebody in the bottom 6, like whether it's Carlson or something like that, or is it because Marlowe is no longer on the team?
It's because Marlowe's
one.
It's.
Well, hold on. What did the angry Canadian say?
Angry Canadian.
I put him on the first line.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I'd agree, because I don't think Joel Ward's. I don't think he's a good fit there. I don't think he's.
Well, this is something else that I don't know that any of us have really discussed. What the fuck is going on with this top line for the Sharks right now? I mean, they've tried to plug in Donskoy there. They've tried to plug in Labanc. They've tried to. I mean, obviously,
no, they haven't plugged in Labanc yet.
They haven't plugged
in. I thought they did. Okay, but Donskoy, Ward, Carlson.
The problem is they need an absolute trigger man. You channel through Jumbo.
Somebody get Chichu on the horn.
Exactly. No. That's exactly right. Because the problem with Donskoy is he wants to drive possession. The problem with Bodker is he wants to be more of a playmaking winger, and that's why Ward is up there because he shoots. You just need somebody to shoot on that side because Pavelski will tip. And Jumbo, the passing will be there with Jumbo. You need an absolute trigger man. That's why Hurdle was good up there, because he did not have to think about anything else besides shooting the puck.
So and you're channeling your inner Ray Ratto and saying, just shoot the puck.
Win the game.
Just shoot the puck.
Here's the other thing, though, because the other thing that was said, too, you heard a lot last year with Hurdle up there was that, Hurdle could, earlier in his career, he could be a little bit lazy at times, and then he just couldn't be lazy on that line. So you figure, to me, that's the perfect place for Goldobin, where you have to put him where he's, he has to work. And he would add a little bit of speed to that line, but he's not he's not too fast if he would just run circles around the line either.
Well, I like what you're saying about putting Goldie up there, because we both know that Thornton and Pavelski are pretty defensively sound, and we know that Goldie isn't. So.
Right. No, and you make Goldobin learn. I mean, you've got 2 elite players that will back check. And the Russian kid, he's going to have to learn that if he wants to be like Igor, he's going to have to back check. Because Igor is one of his favorites, and he was sound in both sides. He did not take anything off. Yeah. Yeah, and so, I don't think that that's the worst place. You either put him up there or you put Timo. And right now, I don't think Timo deserves a call-up. I don't think he's ready for a call-up, and I think Goldie is.
Yeah, I think Goldie's out of slide years, too. So, I mean, you're ticking time now on his deal.
Yeah. I mean,
so you gotta figure out what you have there before. Because if he's just in the AHL come 2019-20 when he comes up as an RFA, then... come on, we all know where he's going.
Yeah, he's going back home, but...
Hey, look, I grabbed him by the pussy! Too soon? Too soon?
Never too soon.
Too soon?
With that, speaking of the Barracuda, make sure you hit sjbarracuda.com/vote for the fan design jersey contest.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Very much shameless plug. Jersey number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The dose. Fuck the Ocho. It's all about the dose.
But like I said, I think it's almost time for Goldie, and I think that he's really done a good job. And Sommer has actually praised his defensive game. So if you're getting that from Sommer, who's a hard ass about that, he's doing something right. And we can rail on Sommer and how what good a coach he is, but I do respect his defensive acumen and being able to spot defensive prospects, because if anything, the Sharks can make defensive forwards. I mean, we know that they can do that at least.
Well, they draft safe. I mean, they spend a lot of time drafting safe players and not, and that was kind of one thing that I kind of liked when they drafted a guy like Goldobin, was that he wasn't, it was a more of a boomer bust prospect, and Timo kind of the same thing. There was definitely safer players they could have chosen. There's better players they could have chosen too, but they're taking a few risks, which I kind of like, but as long as they're not stupid. Yeah, like drafting a guy that should be in the fourth round, the second round.
I'm going to be interested to see just how the season plays out based on, if you remember what Gen X has mentioned on the occasional times that he's been on. When he's not talking about left-handed Guatemalans, he had mentioned that Pete DeBoer, you get one good season out of him, and it's usually his first. So I don't. And here we go. Go ahead. Look. All I had to do was put a little fire near the gasoline and watch. Watch, everybody. Watch. Go ahead.
No, I look. Peter DeBoer hasn't had the amount of talent that he has on this team, and I think that he also. I mean, he does rub players the wrong way, but Jumbo and Patty and Pavs have had that before. And if anything, I mean, they respond better to that. Better than the Todd McClellan, oh, it's okay, guys, you'll figure it out or whatever.
Hey, we haven't heard any trade Marlowe rumors this year. So.
Right.
I trade him. Absolutely trade him. No, look, I think the thing, though, is, I think it's good narrative, but I think that the reality is if you look at those teams that he coached, especially after the first year he was there, like those New Jersey Devils, I mean, you had a well over the hill Brodeur at that point. You lost Kovalchuk, you lost Parise, you replaced them with nothing. I mean, look at those rosters for those teams. Look at the rosters that he had in Florida. They got progressively worse. Yeah, I mean, his teams did worse after his first year there, but they also were staffed by worse people.
Yeah, and if anything, the Sharks have gotten deeper. And so I honestly think that this team will actually place higher than it did last year. I think that they could probably win the Pacific if they really want to.
Don't you feel like the Pacific overall has gotten worse?
It's garbage this year.
Yeah,
the whole West is garbage this year.
The West is I think you're seeing the balance of power shift a little bit, but I also think that you're going to start to see the cream of the crop rise too. I think you're going to see the California teams be in 1, 2, 3. There's no doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. I think they're going to push out Edmonton, and I don't think Calgary's coming back.
But here's the question, though. So, yeah, maybe they go in the top 3, but how big is that gap between the top 3 and the bottom 4?
Well, yeah, I don't think we're going to see the gap that we saw last time, where it was like 1, 2, and 3 were so far out in front, and 6 and 7 were just in the total fucking basement, and 5, 6, or 4, 5 had a sniff up until about the All-Star break.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a little bit different this time, but Calgary, you guys are pissing me off, man. You're making me look like a fool every fucking year. I hate you guys right now. But Edmonton, good on you. When you have the number 1 pick for 18 out of the last 20 seasons, it's going to do good for you.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I mean, the only team above 20 points right now is Chicago, and they've got 22.
Hey, fuck those guys.
But I'm just saying, and you look over in the East, you got Montreal with 27, you got Pittsburgh with 22, you got New York with 20, you got Washington with 19. I mean, look, the balance of power has kind of shifted. And I think that you're gonna see that for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then it's gonna go back to the West again.
Hold on. The points too. If you look at the versus record, the East is destroying the West this year, and like,
which is kind of a change
yes.
over the last few years. But let me ask you this: so Vancouver is a shit show. Calgary not living up to any expectations whatsoever. Edmonton exceeding expectations a little bit so far at the 15 game mark. I mean, we can't get too in front of our skis here.
They're a McDavid injury away from plummeting, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
They're gonna correct.
So you have that. Toronto they're gonna Toronto, but Montreal out there, Winnipeg, nothing to really write home about. Ottawa, still not a whole lot there. I mean, is there a Canadian team I missed? My point being is, are we going to see back-to-back seasons of no Canadian teams in the playoffs?
No, Montreal's going to make it.
Montreal's going to make it, exactly.
I don't know. So, I mean, who's been doing all the heavy lifting while Carey Price has been out?
The year they made it, Carey Price has been. I mean, the year that they were there last before Carey Price got hurt.
Hey, fuckface! Answer my question.
What? Who's going to carry them if Carey Price gets burned out? Carey Price doesn't get burnt out. That's my point.
Yeah, no,
I didn't say that. I'm just saying if something happens to Price.
Oh well, Price, yes, but if anything happens to anyone starting goalie, they're going to plummet out probably.
Well, and that's all I said.
Yeah, but
the other thing.
Wait. Who's gonna start more games, Carey Price or Martin Jones?
Carey Price.
Carey Price. Without we're not even gonna, because you know what? Yeah. You know why? Because what's going to happen? Because like I said, so in the next couple of weeks, the Sharks have some back-to-backs. We're going to see Dell in there, but this is the whole thing. Now this is the Sharks. You have to realize though, Montreal, they're in a little more competitive division. I'm telling you, dude, you're going to see March and April. We're going to see a little bit more Dell because I think they're going to rest Jones for the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
well,
if Dell can play. I mean, look, he's got to build up some confidence with the Boar, and right now he's not getting even the opportunity to do that. But
and they still have Alex Stalock's number, and Nolan Schaefer is there just in case.
Look, but kind of going back to Montreal, though, I mean, they've built up quite a bit of a cushion already, and I don't see them falling off. I mean, even
unless Carey Price gets hurt, then they'll nosedive like they did last year, because I don't even know who their backup is this year. Montoya, not happening.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Can I just address something very funny in the chat? Laurel telling me that I look at least 6 months. I love it. 6 months younger with that new haircut. The funny thing being is that this is the longest I've gone without getting a haircut. So she's basically saying the longer the hair gets, the younger I look. I like that. But the fact that you look at least 6 months younger, you know what? That was funny. Shut up.
I think the way, if we're still looking at Canadian teams that can get in, though, I agree with the chat. I don't think we should overlook Winnipeg. Winnipeg's been playing some decent games. They just need to stop getting their goalie shelled. And I think Winnipeg could easily be a wild card team.
No, I agree, and I think that they finally gotten the defenseman situation over,
and they got Trouba back too.
Yeah, and any team that has INN in their name, Puck Guy 14 is all over that shit, baby.
yeah. I mean, Minnesota.
Can you say holla?
Minnesota's kind of in an interesting position right now because they've got the least amount of games played in their division, and they could get sneak a couple more wins here, and certainly get back into the top 3 in the Central. So,
hey, great question on the chat from Sleepy Mofo. Do we see another call-up and LeBanc get sent down after this roadie?
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either. I don't think his puck.
He hasn't done over these 3 games, I think, what a lot of us expected him to do. I think we all expected him to have at least a goal or an assist at this point.
He hasn't played San Jose, so how's he supposed to get his first goal?
Oh, I know. That's the way it happens. If you're going to get your first goal, you have to play against the Sharks. But when you're on the Sharks, I mean, come on.
And I think it's a fair question, but I think that right now he's getting the puck stripped off of him quite a bit, and that's the problem that I see, is that he's not able to drive the possession, I think, the way that everybody wants him to.
But I like what Rocket says in the chat. LeBanc has been a shot in the arm for this team.
Oh, he has.
And I think he has. I think he's kind of like thrown it out to a few guys. Obviously not Marlowe and Thornton or Pavelski, but for the most, for the most, he's thrown it out there where it's like you need to work for your ice time.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't, like I said, I haven't looked at the numbers, though, so I don't want to, like, go too crazy here.
Really? It's too hard for you to agree with me just once? Really?
Fine, I
really?
agree, AJ.
Okay, that's all you had to do. That's all you had to do.
I mean, but if we're really talking about, will he get sent down, though? I mean, it's a good sign that he's got more than 10 minutes a game. Right, and so that's the key indicator.
More than Haley,
right? No, but honestly,
that was the point I was just going to bring up too. Though it was like, everyone went crazy. Oh my God, Haley's in the lineup and we're winning games. Like I don't. Sometimes these things are just coincidental.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But like I said, I think if you look at the ice time distributions and where he's at, he's doing as well as you could expect. For a kid that's just coming out of junior. Remember, he doesn't even have a year of AHL experience. So,
yeah.
You can't really expect him to be the second coming of, I don't know, pick your highest rated prospect. But
people in the chat absolutely shocked that Ian agreed with me. That was awesome.
But I mean, look, if DeBoer keeps deploying him like he is and keeps trusting him like it is, then maybe he won't get sent down.
You know what, though? Honestly, like when it comes to LeBanc, like I am so pleasantly surprised with LeBanc because I didn't think that he was this far along. Like I watched him play in Barrie, and he was good. And him on that line with Mangiapane and every now and then he would have Dylan Sadoway in his line as well, and they were really good together. But I didn't think his skating was going to be NHL level, and he's really surprised me. So I think the fact that even if he's maybe not performing as well as everyone would like him to, the fact that he's here is such a good sign, and people should be really happy with that because he's way ahead of schedule, in my opinion.
Agreed. He's way ahead of schedule, and he's able to hold his own. So it's not like he looks out of place, but people would like to see some goals here and there. But hey, for a kid like we said, for a kid that hasn't had a year's worth of experience in the AHL, doing really well.
Wow, and
right out of junior.
Laurel quoting a movie that came out in 1982. Good on you, Laurel. I like it.
And then I think maybe one last question that we should bring up from the chat: are we ever going to see DeMello play?
Not until someone gets injured.
Yeah.
That actually pisses me off. I would like to see DeMello at least get a look because there have been a few times so far this season, and I think this is something we can all agree on. Martin has looked slow or tired or whatever you want to call it, and whether it's DeMello you put up with Burns so you don't upset the other pairings, or whether you just shit show the whole thing. Either way, no, I think they need to take advantage of the fact that DeMello's with the club. Give Martin a day off or two. Basically treat him a little bit like a goalie. If there's a back-to-back, hey, throw DeMello in there on the night that maybe that works better defensively for you. I think DeMello, at the very least, has worked hard enough that he should at least get a look once in a while. To just have him riding the pine for 2 fucking months, that's ridiculous.
And look, Martin had a good bounce back game today. I mean, he had a really nice set.
Which is good because he was a shit show against Pittsburgh.
Right, exactly. So, it's good to see that. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, he's an aging defenseman, and he's gonna need some breaks. So,
I don't remember if DeMello and Burns played it all last year, so I don't know how that would look. The problem is, the real problem is why DeMello can't get in the lineup is because Schlemko and Dylan have been too good to split up.
Right,
period.
Right, and that's a good thing. I mean, honestly, the fact that we're not crying out, why the hell is Dylan playing, so much. I mean.
Oh, fucking Chris. Really? Look, I am not saying make a change for the sake of change. I'm saying maybe make a change because Martin has looked a little slow and a little tired. I want to read what Chris wrote, but I'm not going to because I was berated. But we were all berated by Ian to never get political on here, so I'm not going to. but I'm not trying to make
I like
a change
all our
for the
listeners.
I'm not trying to say make a change for the sake of change. I'm trying to say, you know what? Martin has shown his age a little bit this season. Maybe just give him a night off and see what you know what, to use the famous words of an angry Canadian, you have to see what a guy is. Let's see what Dylan DeMello is.
Agreed. But I think when you're winning games and the defense is playing like it is, I don't see DeBoer changing much.
Okay, oh my God. Sleepy Mofo, dude, I have respected you so much. You've always come with really good stuff in the chat. But the fact that you just said if we play the Pens again this season, dude, we only see East Coast teams twice a year, and we've already played the Pens twice. What the
Thank
fuck
God.
are you talking? Dude, you know what? I don't know what.
If the playoffs started today.
If the playoffs.
If the finals started today, okay? I don't know. Sleepy Mofo, I love you, but that was a fucked up question, so here's your beer.
Megan Phillips from Kevin Kerr's hearing Milka Carlson left the arena in a walking boot.
Oh, fun times.
So, hello, Nikolai Goldova!
The crowd's back in.
But there still needs to be somebody to, you know.
Haley's still sitting in the press box. He's fine.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, they don't need to carry an extra player. Like,
dude, you can sit here and talk Haley all you want. He's still not Brian Lerg, all right?
No, I agree.
Nobody is Lerg. Just saying.
Yeah, I think Nieto comes back in. That's just me.
All right.
Who's next?
Yeah, fight him. People on the chat. Ian wants a fight. Fight him, man.
I didn't mean who's next to fight me. I mean, I'll fight any of you, but who we playing next? We should probably talk
about
Carolina.
We play Drew Weber's Carolina Hurricanes.
Drew Weber's Carolina Hurricanes, eh? I gotta be nice.
It's Drew Weber, and in the words of Ian Reed, I'm not an asshole. I just think your opinion's stupid.
There you go.
Did you really say that, Ian?
Yeah. I did say that on Tilted Glasses last year.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I paraphrased it. He actually said, I'm not a dick. I just think your opinion's stupid. That's what
true.
It was.
That's exactly what I said.
Wow. Outstanding.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Carolina Hurricanes. What are you going to see?
We better see a win, and I hope we see Dell.
Yeah, that's my whole thing is if Dell is going to get into any of these games on the 6-game roadie, it has to be this, right? Yeah. It has to be against the team, especially how great the Sharks have looked over the last 3. I shouldn't say how great they've looked. They haven't looked great from the beginning, but it's trended upward, it feels like. The defense, to me, seemed like they had a pretty damn good showing tonight. We saw a couple days ago where the defense got all the goals. So I like the way that the defense is trending, but Landy was talking about it earlier. That top, let's see the power play make stuff happen, but let's see that top line happen. But if you're going to start Dell in any of these 6 games, it has to be against Carolina, right, Ian?
Yeah, I agree. It has to be. It has to be against Carolina. I mean, I know you could wait till the back-to-backs and go there, but I really think that I just want everyone to relax. So I think I want Dell to start for my own sake, just so I can stop answering this question.
Right. And if there's and what Villa Esaroma on the chat is saying, if there's ever time to do it, this is when Cam Ward's this bitch.
That's right. Cam Ward this bitch.
Cam Ward this bitch.
Playing the role of Kevin Bacon from Animal House will be Ian Reed saying, "Remain calm, all is well."
You can say that, but I don't even care what anybody else says. The best line from that movie will always be, "They took the bar, the whole fucking bar." That will always be the best line from that movie.
Not thank you, sir. May I have another?
Okay, that's second. And third being food fight.
All right, Eric. I think that this train's going off the rails. Let's call it a night.
It is, especially since Sleepy Mofo is saying every time Ian agrees with AJ, take a chug of beer.
You're not going to be drinking much.
Well, if he throws me softballs like that of things I've already said earlier in the show, we're going to agree.
There you go.
All right, Eric, take us home.
And one little bit of news, LA's Jack Campbell's been sent up for an emergency call-up because Zach Hoff got hurt again.
Jack
Wow.
terrible.
Is this like seriously the situation with LA? Have you ever seen a situation where like the starting goalie goes out in the very first game, he's going to be gone for like 3 to 4 months, then the backup gets injured relatively soon after, and but there's still like winning games here and there. Like it has.
That's the thing.
Lewis did that last year with Elliott and Elliott and Allen. I feel like they had times where they were both hurt because they're both fragile sometimes.
It's crazy, but hey, kudos to LA that they're staying in it. But this is the point where I made. We need to win these games and win these points because when they get healthier, they're going to try and get on the point. And with
getting on the point.
And we don't see LA until the end of next month, right? New Year's,
something like that.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Well, it's like back to back.
But
I think it's back to back, right? Like New Year's Eve and then like 2 days later. New Year's Eve and then like January 2nd.
Anaheim and then LA or something.
Oh, maybe that's you're right.
Yeah. So
it's on New Year's Eve we play at LA. 2 days later we host LA. So it's back to back with LA.
And classic day.
Interesting. Who's gonna watch that shit?
Yeah, and Sleepy Mofo giving us. Well, let's be honest. We just need to get onto Zazzle or wherever and have this shirt made. But Sleepy Mofo saying that Ian needs to wear a shirt that says "Arundel matters."
Arundel does matter. Black jerseys matter. Arundel matters. Goalie lives matter.
So, with that, we better wrap this up before we just completely get derailed. Sharks beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1. They are undefeated on the road trip. They will play Tuesday in Carolina, the house that Troy Grosek built. Make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you hit up Pucknology.net for all your latest Sharks news. And remember, folks, we are presented by Audible by Amazon. They have partnered with us to give a free 30-day trial to all of you. Make sure you can search up to over 180,000 books, and you can get a free book even if you continue to use the service or not. Make sure you hit up audibletrial.com/PAD to help us out. Until Tuesday night.
Hey, remember, there's a writer's room tomorrow, so you should go check it out.
I'm sorry.
The final thoughts, man.
You didn't do final thoughts. My final thoughts are you should all watch the Writers' Room tomorrow. I see 24 people watching right now. I expect 24 people to be watching tomorrow, or else I'm coming on Twitter to fight all of you. We're going to have a Writers' Room tomorrow. I believe it is the usual crew of me, Kevin, and Drew back again. So stay tuned for that. We have a few things we're going to talk about. I'm going to try and fish out a couple more questions before tomorrow, and it's going to be awesome because it's always awesome.
Yep, keep that defensive zone tight. That's all I got to say about that.
And if you haven't checked out Pucknologists already, AJ will tell you about that right now.
Check out Pucknologists. There you go. Follow us on Twitter @Pucknologists, and you'll find out when the new shows come out. It's usually every Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and we appreciate all the new listeners. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So until Tuesday night, for Landy, Ian, AJ, and all of us, keep it real, keep it tight, keep it real tight.